Howdy ho, everybody. I am Donut. This is my fiance.
Thermite.
I have seen South Park up to season 20-something.
I'm watching it blind.
This is a Black Lives Matter and All Cops Are Bastards supporting channel. If it makes you uncomfortable, get the fuck out of here. This is season 4, episode 12, Trapper Keeper.
Trapper Keeper.
Any predictions?
You know, I actually don't know what a Trapper Keeper is. I've heard the term before, but I don't know.
It is I've never used one. It's one of those things that I also had to, like, look up after, because it's a little bit before my time, even.
Okay.
Let's look it up before we go into it, because, you know, both of us are not really sure what a Trapper
Yeah.
Keeper even is, and it's a little bit before our time. Right, so a Trapper Keeper is just like a folder. You know, it's something like that. Like,
Okay.
you know, just like a folder for paper, like a binder, you know. I think like a lot of people my age might think of it as like, yeah, a binder.
Okay.
Is what I think we would have called it.
All right.
I mean, did you not have anything like that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What word did you use for that?
I think also just binder.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, so Trapper Keeper, I think it's the, you know, the rings on it. That's why it's called a Trapper Keeper,
Okay.
probably. I don't know. That's my guess, but
Sure.
weird. So, what would you rate that episode?
I think it's got to be a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
There was some lulls at some places. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't want to rate everything 9 out of 10. I'm saving mine.
Fair.
You're it's easier for you because
Mhm.
you're comparing it only with the stuff you've already seen.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm rating something 9 out of 10, I am also kind of comparing it to all the stuff I've already seen.
Yeah, the scale's totally different.
Yeah. But what was your favorite joke in the episode?
It's got to be Bill Cosby's name.
That was a good one. It's such a just nonchalant, like, you know, just he came here and just picked Bill Cosby for some reason. That was the name he picked.
I think it might work better now than it did back then. It worked well back then, too.
Yeah. I think my favorite joke is the, you know, Cartman saying, like, oh, well, you just grab it, Kyle, for the Trapper Keeper with the spikes and everything. That was such a good joke. The repeated uses of the Ike, you know, I poop my pants is great as well.
And, like, in general, like, this episode was so on fire. Within the first few minutes, I was thinking, this is probably a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, like, it had a fantastic start to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could tell this is alluding to, you know, one of the U.S. elections. Were you going to tell at all which one it was? I'm sure you're probably not versed in U.S. politics at all, so.
I assume it's Bush versus Gore.
Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
But yeah, with the whole, you know, the character
Canada
Flora
balance.
being
Yeah.
Florida, and the whole, like, the absentee balance and the recounting and recounting, and the, you know, Rosie O'Donnell and fucking Harvey Weinstein and fucking all these people coming in to be like, no, you gotta listen to me, this is how we do it. It's not like there's a problem with the voting system, it's just the way you're counting this voting system. That's really what that is, all just so much, you know, people missing the problem entirely.
Yeah.
And you're saying, this is the problem, or, you know, doing shit like, using dead people as absentee ballots and everything. And it's like, either way, you know, both sides are fucking terrible. Like, Al Gore is a good person for the most part.
Sure.
But he's in with the fucking Clintons and everything. Like, you know, I'm don't give a shit about either one of them.
Right.
They can both go suck a dick. But yeah, I felt it was, you know, the Garrison, like, ending speech scene was weird, because, like, this is an episode that I agree a lot with,
Right.
but the way that, like, it also felt like Garrison was a voice of reason there,
Yeah.
which is almost never the case.
It
So
felt very out of character. to me.
yeah.
Like, it was very much I am now a mouthpiece, as opposed to, this is what Mr. Garrison would do in the situation.
Same with, like, the Rainforest Schmainforest episode. It's all the episodes where they'll decide to use like, they're like, okay, well, I have a shitty character say this, and then I can say off air, yes, I agree with that character. I don't think Trey said that about, you know, obviously he does at the time.
Yeah.
At the time. We've talked on many times that they have talked about constantly that just, like, they look back at almost any of the old South Park episodes and they they, cringe at a lot of them, not all of them, but,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of, like, the message at the end of them, they'll cringe at, or, like, they say plenty of times, like, they'll make an episode and 6 days later, like, oh, Jesus Christ, that was what we thought? Holy shit. We must have been fucking drunk as shit when we made that episode. But yeah, I feel like, a lot of the times where they just, take a shitty character and then have them be the voice, of reason,
Yeah.
it's just a weird, like,
Yeah.
thing, yeah. But, or the opposite even with the Chef Goes Nanners thing.
Oh my
With
God.
the chef, being usually the voice of reason, and that episode is the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, overall though, I feel like the episode was, absolutely nailed the lambasting of that election, how fucking stupid it was.
Yeah.
All the fucking, like, mainly I would say a lot of the fucking celebrities just missing the point entirely. Like, there was plenty of actual people talking about the real problems with having a two-party system, and the problem with just how we count election votes in general and everything like that. But then all the celebrities want to come in and they, want to talk about, like, my way, but just missing the real point of what should be changed. You get it.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to really add about that. This was the first episode of South Park that was like a, crunch, episode sort of thing. Whereas like they made not entirely, because the like newest one, maybe not newest, but around the, they made them in like 3 days period.
Yeah.
And not quite here, because they had most of the episode planned, they were starting to animate it, and it was going to be like Ike's just first day at school. But then like right after the election, like right after all this stuff was happening and everything, they quickly like added in the election plot with the class president thing.
Right.
So and that was I'm not sure how quick it was done, but it was only a couple, like it wasn't even a full week after the election.
Okay.
So it was like this episode moved up to be put up right here, and they what was it? 70 animators. They got with a team of 70 animators in order to get it done in time, which they normally, have like way around this time, like way less than that.
Yeah.
That was like we need to get a ton of animators together, hurry up to animate this and get it out in time.
Okay.
But I thought that was cool, like seeing the first, extremely right as it's happening political episode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is wild to think that it was originally an Ike episode anyways, because, like, everything Ike in this episode, apart from, like, the very beginning, was the political stuff.
Yeah.
And then the other half of the episode is the part that I felt was, like, really interestingly animated. And that, like, we had the flash to the future, we saw, like, South Park in the mid-afternoon, which we never see with, like, the red sky.
I don't think that was supposed to be mid-afternoon. I think that was supposed to be, the red sky, like Akira, the red sky.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that was what it was supposed to be.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Were you going to say anything else about that?
Just, yeah, like, they nailed the Terminator vibes. The Blob was definitely very Akira. We had the 2001 Space Odyssey moments, inside of Cartman.
Yeah. Yeah, I most of this stuff I know vaguely offhand in the, pop culture sort of shit. I have not seen most movies, so it's like, I get this reference, but I've never seen it.
I see.
But I'm glad that you are someone who can,
some of them.
Yeah, enjoy this more than I can. Enjoy some of the stuff like that more than I can across the whole series. I mean, just because you've seen a lot of classic movies that I've not.
Oh, but you can, though. Watch Terminator.
I will at some point, maybe. Oh yeah, so what do you think about the, what we're doing with the continuation of Mr. Garrison's plot, his teaching kindergarten class now?
Definitely more interested in it than I was, like, a couple episodes ago.
Sure.
Like, now he's got an actual sort of arc. Like, ever since he came back from the mountain, I think it's been very interesting.
Yeah. I think they made also a good decision of, like, one, with everything that was going on, they put Mr. Garrison on the back burner, and then, as nature of TV, slowly you just forget about all the stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
So he seems more palatable again. So then after some time has passed, they have the mountain arc with him. He comes out as gay, and then now we can have him, we can do also an upgrade of his, character while having him, like, get penalized. Like, he is, he got demoted at work, now he's teaching kindergarten, but he is still able to be in the teacher role, and now, well, the boys have moved on to 4th grade, and like the boys are so, absurdly, what am I trying to say? Just absurdly in their speech and what they'll say and talk about and stuff, that Mr. Garrison is not as shocking being their teacher anymore. So now having him be, the teacher of a kindergarten class invigorates that shock value of him being a shitty teacher.
Which, it was interesting that for this episode, he wasn't that shitty of a teacher. I mean, he was.
He did do we just hard cut to, he just told the whole story of him and his dad.
Yeah. I mean, sure. But he was also willing to sit there and recount the votes 400 times.
That's true.
He had a lot of patience in this episode, I guess, is what I think is, like, good. His actions were pretty shitty.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
But he had patience. An inhuman amount of patience.
I guess he just really doesn't want to lose this job.
I guess so.
Oh yeah, so like this is the first episode where we got to see, a lot of the, kids, getting like the kindergartners.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was, was it obvious that they're all like actually voiced by
100%.
Yeah, I assume.
The delivery was cracking me up so often.
Yeah. I really, really appreciate that Ike is always voiced by an infant, like a toddler, like, he is voiced by someone who is 3. Right. And all the 5-year-olds are voiced by 5-year-olds. I really appreciate that. And they say, like, they've already at this point had to go through multiple voice actors for Ike.
Right.
They have to constantly go through multiple voice actors for the kids. So they're not really consistent, but, they'll try and find... And, yeah, they're kindergarten, kids. Like, we only have, like, the one guy has a name now. But, yeah, I do appreciate that they're very consistent about, like... If it's a 5-year-old, it's voiced by a 5-year-old. If it's a 3-year-old, it's voiced by a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And then once they get up to, like, I say, like, they're, I guess, 2nd grade. I'm not sure if we've seen a 2nd grader yet, and I can't think of, off the top of my head, if we have, if there's, like, a 2nd grader in the show voiced by a 2nd grader, or anything. But, yeah, I feel like, for the most part, they do that, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
It's also, hilarious just hearing the kids say that.
Yeah.
And, like, I love behind-the-scenes footage whenever they, have, like, Ike for, saying, like, hey, okay, you need to say this, and then, it's not even like I say that, they'll just, like, I mean, it really is, they'll have to just, like, repeat it, just say it, and then wait till he says it, and, like, it's really interesting seeing them trying to get the lines for Ike, because it's a 3-year-old. They're not voice acting. They're just repeating a line that you're saying that just say. And then they constantly get it wrong most of the time, which is why we get half the time Ike is just Googer Burger.
Right.
They'll say this and they get that. It's like, whatever,
Yeah.
But I love it's like Kenny if he wasn't muffled,
Right.
But it's just Kenny is actually saying things, but it's so funny.
It's a good gag.
Okay, yeah, I think that's all the notes I have for this episode. I love the continuity seemingly only within this season. Like, with the I thought 3rd grade was gonna be, or I thought 4th grade was gonna be different, and then Cartman talking about the NAMBLA thing. Like, they have so far, like, not referentially anything outside of season 4. But that creates this really interesting like bottle season,
right?
How do you feel about that so far? We've gotten a lot of continuity, but it's all only continuity from this season.
It's very comfy. Like, I do appreciate the idea of it being, like, restricted to the season, so that if I were to, like, watch a bunch of South Park and then take a break and then watch just the season, or, pick it up around here, like, the references are mostly pretty fresh. I'd have a good idea of what's going on.
Also, this is around, 2000s. So this is around DVDs starting to be a thing.
Oh, I didn't consider that, yeah.
Like, before we're getting all the VHSs and everything, but now this is around the era of DVDs and everything, which was way more of a... I mean, VHSs were a collectible sort of thing, but I would not say much for this sort of stuff. Like, that's why a lot of shows got their resurgence was because of DVD sales instead of VHS sales, which most people were not watch because you couldn't rewatch a VHS over and over again. It's just going to wear out. And,
In Canada, at the very least, the culture for VHSs was much more like you tape stuff on them, and then occasionally you will buy the actual VHS for something.
Yeah.
But it was mostly just a, like, if you're watching a TV show on VHS, you're going to be recording it off of, like, airings. You're not going to go and buy the VHS set for Sopranos because it's always like $500.
Yeah, like most like people I know with like VHS collections are super old. Like, you're like in your 30s or 40s even. I don't think most people collected VHSs. They, might have gotten one or two here or there, but for the most part, DVDs were, the thing. So
yeah,
this was definitely, I would say, the first season where it was big DVD sales. So that might be a big reason. I don't know if they knew that going into it and they were, planning for that or whatever, but that at least would have been a good bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get a South Park DVD. Oh, this whole season is, pretty continuity heavy within itself. It's cool. But yeah, I think as you said, it's very cozy. I don't know how much more I have to say about it. I just wanted to bring it up. But that's it. We'll see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.